Alright, if you ask me, it look good enough. This light acting like it want to pop on and off. So if it ain't funny, it is what it is. Alright, hello my dreamers, my leaders, my it's never too laters. I have a really beautiful, juicy topic for you today. So let's get right into it. Welcome to the Courtney Brio Show. Okay. So, before we get started, I'm about to light some incense. Now, just so you know, I'm not summoning no spirits. I'm not cleansing the air. It's just to calm me down and make it smell good. For all my people, my religious peoples who be scared of stuff like this, it's just incense. Calm down. And it smells really good. If y'all want to know which incense I'm using, is this right here. You get this at Whole Foods and it's super cheap. It's $2. So I'm gonna put it in the description box. So let's light this mug. Ooh. You hear that? Tase your ass. Okay. Ooh, I'm shaking. See, this is what happens sometimes. Sometimes I get a little nervous, but it's alright. And if you want to know what this is, I bet y'all not up on this. It's an electric lighter. And this is my mama got this on Amazon. It's called Ron XS. So I'm gonna also leave this. And this is really this come in handy too. Okay. Now I usually light my incense when it's just really like a bedtime routine for me. And sometimes a morning time routine. You know, if I want to set the mood for the morning, I light an incense or I light a candle. And I just get myself in a really relaxed state. And I love this because it smells so good, and smells and senses do calm down the nervous system. So if you're looking for any ways to combat anxiety or restlessness, having a routine is something, nighttime routine or morning time routine is something that could really help you. Just waking up, immediately stretching, lighting the incense, lighting the candle, get you in a drink of water or some tea, writing your journal, and get the day started. Right now I got my okra water here with me. And for the ladies, if you know, you know. But I'm just thirsty, so I'm gonna take a sip of it. It's actually not that bad. Like, I actually really like it. Not the consistency so much, but it's kind of like has a slimy consistency. But I definitely I make sure it tastes good. I put like agave and lemon in it. Okay. Neighbors. Okay. So let's get right into it. So I wanted to record this for my young people out there who are watching this, and specifically my young people who are dealing, my artists, my creatives, my visionaries, my people out there who know that there's something special about them. And right now they can't put their finger on it, or they feel like they've been forgotten, or they feel invisible, but they've always felt like there's a gift inside of them. And it seems like maybe you can't find your way, you're feeling stuck, but you know that you're supposed to be doing something great. This message is for you, and hopefully it's for everybody, because everybody should feel like they have something important or great to contribute to this world. Okay. So this topic is about random rejection. Random rejection. Yes. If I said those words and something in you was like, yes, something about that makes sense. I don't know why, but it makes sense why we're rejected and be random. But you know what makes sense? I'm going to tell you why. So the reason I decided to talk about random rejection today is because lately I have been really thinking about some of the things that have got me to where I am today. And now as I sit in front of you, I am on a healing journey. I'm a healing woman. We're always healing. You know, I don't think we ever stop this journey of healing. But as you heal, you begin to connect the dots on certain situations that you didn't quite understand when you were younger that were happening to you. And I'm looking at my life today currently, and I'm recognizing that I've experienced so much rejection in my life. And oftentimes that rejection came out of nowhere. You know, I didn't know why it happened. And this isn't directly connected to jealousy. At least I don't think. That's another video. And the reason I say that is because oftentimes we think, oh, well, the reason this person rejected me is because they're just jealous. I look good. I'm too sexy for my shirt. I'm too sexy for my hat. Too sexy for my pants. And that's why they don't want to dance. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it doesn't come off as jealousy. Sometimes it just comes off as these Negroes don't want to fuck with you at all. And you trying to figure out what you did and how you did it and why they coming out of nowhere telling you they don't want to hang no more. You can't sit with us no more. And you trying to figure out how you got here, okay? Well, it was never your fault. That's the thing. We often, when we're rejected, we try to figure out why it happened. And for me, I'll go back and I'll kind of tell you some of the ways that I've been rejected. You know, even as a little girl, I remember my teacher calling my mother. 6 years old, I remember my teacher calling my mother up and pulling me out of class and having my mom come up to the school to tell her right in front of me that she can't handle me as a student anymore because she just didn't understand why every time she would try to tell me something or have me or direct me to do something, that I would look at her with this face. I don't know what face she was seeing, but she kept telling my mother that there was a face that I would make and that it was making her uncomfortable and that I was doing it on purpose. Purposely trying to belittle her as a teacher at 6 years old. Now, these 6-year-olds out here, they can be some baby kids. And I'm not saying I was perfect, but I think that was the beginning of, and I won't even say the beginning, but that was one of the moments where it became very repetitive. You know, I remember standing next to my mother, and the teacher said, show her the face. Show her the face that you were making. And I just looked at my mom like, what is she talking about? I don't know what face she's talking about. And my mom looks at me and then she looks at the teacher and now this bitch look dumb. Okay. But at the time, I remember not knowing why this was happening. I remember wondering what face she was talking about. And I remember being confused. I remember being unsure of why this moment was taking place and what I did to make my teacher react in this manner. And if I was making this face, how come I didn't know that I was making the face? Was it my fault? And so I think as time went on, rejection looked like that for me. It looked like people saying, you did this, and that's why I don't want to talk to you anymore. And that's why you're getting in trouble at school. And that's why you can't be a part of this production. Because you did this thing. Have you ever felt that way? Do you feel what I'm talking about? And it leaves you in this place and space where you're like, when I did whatever you said that I did, I had no intentions of harming you. I was just being myself. See, that's the thing. Well, oftentimes we're just being ourselves. And I bring this up because specifically with people who are anointed, people who are very gifted, people who are extremely talented, they experience rejection the most. And they experience it in ways that cannot be fully understood. And you often cannot put your finger on why exactly it happened. It leaves you dumbfounded. It's a mystery, and it comes suddenly. It comes out of nowhere. You trying to figure out, how did I upset you? I didn't even know I was doing something to upset you. I remember I was in film school and I had a teacher, and I'm not going to name her name because I forgive this woman. But see, when I was younger, I know I look young, but when I was younger, and I am young, but when I was younger than my younger, in college, my first year of college, 20 years old, and I was in film school, and my teacher stopped the class, and she looked at me, and she asked me, "Why are you smiling?" And I knew why she asked me that question. I knew she asked me why I was smiling. Because to her, my smile made her uncomfortable because she felt as though I wasn't smiling at her. I was belittling her. I was making a spectacle out of her. Very random moment. Teaching a normal day in class. But her insecurity led her to believe I was smiling at her for a totally different reason other than me actually genuinely loving what I was listening to, loving the subject that I was hearing, wanting to know more. See, something about me is when I am learning and when I'm seeing something that I enjoy and love to do and hearing something and I'm a part of it, a whole new piece of me comes to life. And I will just smile. I'll be the most joyous person you ever seen. I will dance randomly. I smile when other people aren't interested because when I'm interested in something, it fills me up inside. See, that day, I remember it so vividly. I was simply smiling. And I got called out for simply smiling. I know you know what I'm talking about. I know that right now you're listening to me and you're like, yo, I have a story. And it be so random and ridiculous. And you're like, bro, what did I do? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you said you don't like me, but I didn't do anything to you. What are you talking about? I'm just being me. Especially those of us who be like, look, I don't have no malice. I really don't judge people. I'm open-hearted. I'm open-minded. I'm not manipulative. I'm not a narcissistic person. I'm not a liar. I do my best to hit people with the best intentions possible. When I'm a friend, I'm the best. Please excuse me, y'all. So my camera went out. But as I was saying, when I'm a friend, I'm the best friend possible. When I have these good intentions and I believe that I'm walking through this earth as pure as I possibly can be, I'm still being attacked. I'm still being neglected. And it's getting to a point where now I'm beginning to mold who I am based off of who will accept me. Because for many years, because of the rejection that I was experiencing, I began to get small. See, I noticed something that would happen to me. When you're anointed, see, every time I would open my mouth, something would shake. Something would move. Every time I would open my mouth, somebody was affected. And yes, there's been a lot of good in my life. But when people are offended and people make you out to be a monster, when you use your voice, you know it's something that God calls you to say. You know that you're naturally funny. You know that you're naturally opinionated. And you know that it's for a reason. You know it's to empower and to impact other people's lives, to tear down the way things used to be, to say things that other people are afraid to say. You've always known that in here. But out there, people want to crucify you. People want to make you out to be something that you're not. Because they don't understand. Because they don't get you. Because they're intimidated by who you are and what you have to offer. And they want to control that. And the way that they control that is by rejecting you. That's why your rejection has been so random. That's why it doesn't make any sense. And when people like you walk into a room, the whole atmosphere changes. And there's a lot of snakes. There's a lot of people who ain't going to like that. And some people are going to reject you. And they don't even know why. They just know they can't be around you. They don't get it. They never going to tell you that. That's why they came up with that measly, dirty excuse. And it wasn't good enough for you. And now you sitting at home trying to figure out why the sense not sensing. Why it's not adding up. You had $5. But they took $6. Where did they get that extra change from? I'm such a goofball. You cannot make it make sense, y'all. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to begin to think about the rejection. Yes, it's going to hurt. And not in a negative way. I just want you to think about the experience that it gave you. What happened? What did that person say? How did they do it? And I want you to think about every time it happened to you as much as you can. If you have to write it down, write it down. And when you write that down, when you take a look at it, I want you to say, what did I get out of this moment? Because baby, it wasn't to silence you. It wasn't to make you small. It wasn't to shut you up. It wasn't to push you out. It wasn't to keep you on the sidelines. See, that's what the enemy wants you to think, that when people don't want you around, that it's because you're not supposed to be here, and it's because you're supposed to be away, that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy enough. And all of that is a lie. That's why you have to stare at that rejection and say, that's a lie. Because the reason it's happening is because of your power. It's because you have access to places that other people cannot go. And the other folks don't want you to recognize that. And sometimes that's why I said it's not a jealousy thing all the time. Because sometimes people don't even know why they rejected you. They like you. They try to figure it out themselves. They're going to come back. They're going to spin the block. Trust me. Years from now, I'll be like, damn, I don't even know why I did that to you. Well, baby, I'm here to tell you that it's because right now, they're not supposed to be with you. They're not supposed to be in your life right now. This is not the time for them to be with you in this season. The reason they rejected you is not supposed to make sense for them. And it's not making sense to you. It's because now your paths have gone like this. And whatever it is that caused that tension, maybe it was meant to be. Because now you're supposed to go somewhere else and learn another thing and do another thing and elevate and grow in a different way. Not to stay back and crying and depressed about who didn't want you. About who didn't want you. I'm going to call that person later. They might call back again. Let me handle that. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. We need you. We need your power. The reason why you don't understand why they didn't want you is because God has something He wants to show you. He wants to do something so specific in your life. And He knows He put that seed inside of you. He put that light in you. He put that power in you. And you know it's there. Stop ignoring it. Stop acting like you have to wait for somebody to tell you it's in you. You know it's there. You know it's inside of you. You know what God calls you to do. He talked to you about it a long time ago. He never forgets. So why you acting like you don't know? When you are rejected, it's because God wants to protect you. Every abandonment, every slick thing said about you, every door that has been closed in your face, it's because God wanted something better. It's because now is the time to recognize your power without all the external validation. The random rejection equates to random blessings. But you have to keep going to make it all make sense. It doesn't matter how they did it. Stop trying to figure out why they did it. And how you can get back in good graces with them. Some of you are too powerful for that. You're too strong for that. I know you're tired of being strong, but you've got to dig deep down and talk to God and say, I know you put something inside of me. Show me, and don't you stop until you see it. That needs to be something you pray about every night. Stop having these intermediate prayers where you just pray and then 7 months later you pray again. Stop stopping it going and stopping it going. God put that thing inside of you. The reason why you don't fit in is because you were meant to stand out. I don't know what else to tell you. But you've got it in you. Believer, leader. And I want to see you do it. So I'm going to leave you with this. Write down the vision. Make it plain. Remember the light and the power that God put inside of you. Whatever that gift is. Whatever that thing is that God said He called you to do. Whatever it is that you know you're good at more than anybody else. You come alive when you do it. Pick it up again. You let that thing die. Pick it up again. Yes, they hurt you. Yes, you're broken more than you've ever been broken before. But you can get up again. Because that light never died out. The sun still is ablazing even when it's nighttime. Think about that. If you have a story of rejection that you want to share, leave it below in the comments so I can read it. Because I want to read it. I want to read you guys' stories. And I want to know more about you. And I want you to continue to believe in yourself. Because God called you to do something special. But you got to let go of all the people who've let go of you. Thank you so much for joining me for this beautiful, beautiful topic of rejection. And let me know if you guys want me to talk about anything else, any other topics. And I'll be back with something fresh and new in the next episode. Bye-bye. Love you.